I'm Sherri Lewis, and welcome to the God's Own Testimony series. I am loving sharing my testimonies of everything that God has done in the last 9 years after I took the leap of faith, quit my job as a medical doctor, and moved to the continent of Africa. It has been one miraculous story after another. I was sharing on the last video that it seems like a lot of these are financial testimonies because I asked God to prove himself to me as Jehovah Jireh. And I love this testimony probably the most for reasons that you'll see, because he not only supplies our needs, but also our wants. When I quit my job as a doctor, I had to give up certain things. Like I just got a car. That's a whole nother testimony. I love my little car. But after 8 years of having no car and riding in taxis, sometimes 8, 9 people stuffed in a taxi in Cameroon. So I've learned to live without. I've learned to live lean. I've learned to, live frugally. Even though I gave up my job as a doctor and the doctor life, I still get to enjoy nice things. It's not just that my needs are met, but God makes sure that I have nice things. I love music, and someone gifted me a Bose speaker and some Beats earphones. And so those are some of my favorite things. I like travel with them everywhere. And people always supply me with expensive gourmet chocolates. My sister got me addicted to expensive gourmet tea. I love gourmet coffee. I recently just got a brand new wardrobe of Ankara. I love African clothes. And I just got a whole new wardrobe. And so, I live well. I love to be a great steward over donations, but God makes sure that people say, hey, use this for you, or take this for you, or I edit books, or God just makes sure that it's not just that my needs are supplied, but my wants are supplied as well. So my favorite testimony in line with that is I love travel. I didn't know until I became a missionary how much I loved travel. Didn't really travel a lot as a doctor. I traveled a lot with my family when I was little. We've been all over the United States, but I hadn't traveled a lot internationally. And so I joined a travel group on Facebook, and I just love to scroll through the pictures at times and just dream of different places that I want to go. So I was scrolling through the pictures one day, and there was one particular picture where this girl, it looked like she was standing on a cliff, and it was just this perfect crystal blue water, and then there was this blue dome and a white building, and I was like, where is that? And I scrolled down a little bit, and it said Santorini, Greece. And I just looked at the picture. I didn't say a word, but in my heart, I just whispered, oh, I would love to go there. Can I tell you that 6 months later, I was standing in the very same spot, taking a picture. Like, that is life in the God zone. God took me to Santorini, Greece, and he provided every bit of the money for the trip. He didn't have to do that, and it wasn't even a prayer. It wasn't anything that I planned. It wasn't anything at all. I just whispered inside of my heart, I would really love to go there. And 6 months later, I was standing there. And that is the God zone. It's not just provision for ministry. It's not just a venue when we need it. It's not just books and all these other things that I need for ministry. But living in the God zone is also a trip to Santorini, completely unexpected. Just a beautiful, sweet miracle that my daddy was saying to me, Daddy God was saying to me, I love you, and I appreciate you laying down your life. I appreciate the sacrifices that you made. And let me just make this prayer that you didn't even pray out loud come true. I have one more of those. I was writing a book with my writing partner, Rhonda McKnight, and you can find the link for the book in the description. Support us. And the book was about a young lady that was traveling to Kenya, and she got stuck in Paris because the flight got canceled. And so I had to research, what would someone do if they had 24 hours in Paris? And as I was researching, I just remember, again, just the same, just breathing, I would love to go to Paris. It wasn't a prayer. It was just a little wish that I said in my heart. And then when I was burnt out and I came to Kenya, and I was trying to figure out where I would want to travel to if I was burnt out. And the number one place was Kenya. The number 2 place was London. I wanted to go see my friend Alero. I met Alero in Nigeria, and then she surprised me by coming to Atlanta. We met for tea one evening, we met for dinner, and a 7 o'clock dinner ended up as 2 a.m. tea, and we just fell in love. Our hearts were knit together. And so when I was thinking, where in the world can I go just to get away, just to enjoy myself? It was Kenya and London. London. So here I am, a year or so later, researching this book and just breathing a prayer. God, I would love to go to Paris. And so later, my best friend writes me, probably about a month later after I breathed that prayer, I would love to go to Paris. A month later, my best friend from college writes me and she says, oh, we didn't get to go on our summer trip this year. Let's go somewhere. And I'm like, well, where do you want to go? And she goes, I don't know. Let me get back to you. And my friend is very blessed, and she loves to treat me. She loves to travel, and she loves to take me with her as her travel companion. I also had some money saved up from editing as well. Love to edit books. And so she calls me back and she says, let's go to Paris and London. I screamed. Of course, you know I screamed when amazing, wonderful testimony happened. And next thing I knew, I was visiting every single site that I had written in that book, Dream a Little. Like if you read the book, Dream a Little, every single place that I put in there is where I got to go to. Got to go to the Louvre and see the Mona Lisa. I just have tons and tons of pictures of me and my bestie all over Paris, at the Eiffel Tower at night when the lights come on, Notre Dame, just sitting in a coffee shop drinking coffee, because you have to drink coffee if you go to Paris, and eat croissants, fancy restaurants, and we just got to see everything. We actually got to see more than I had researched in the book, and it was just a testimony of God's faithfulness, a testimony of his goodness to me, that not only will I supply your needs, but even your wants. And even though you made a sacrifice, and even though you could have afforded this as a doctor, but now you're not a doctor, I still want you to be able to enjoy the same quality of life that you would have as a doctor. So those are my two miraculous trips that I got to take and enjoyed being loved by a very, very good Father. So if you are thinking of taking your own leap of faith into your God zone, but you're worried about what you might have to sacrifice, I want you to take these stories to heart, that I still have Bose speakers and Beats headphones and a very nice computer, and I don't want to name all my stuff. I ain't trying to get robbed. But I still get to enjoy so many of life's nice things that you would think as a missionary that I don't get to enjoy. And that includes Paris, London, and Santorini. So I hope you're enjoying the videos. Subscribe to my channel. Like, comment. Hopefully I can write you back. And also you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook as Sherri Lewis. If you're interested in the book, The God Zone, then the link is in the description. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Nook, and Kindle. It's available. Please check out my book. And God bless.